So, guys, it is snowing. It has snowed. And there are approximately between 13 and 39 days left until last frost. So, I don't have any time to waste. So, I've decided to get my supplies together and work in the house. You want to see what I did? Come on, I'll show you. Today I'm working with this tray and this tray. I've got my spray bottles, and with this came this little Super Thrive. I've never used it before. I usually honestly don't know why. I just don't use it, but this time I'm going to put this in the spray bottles. Now my soil is moistened. You can see it's not dry at all. I've moistened it. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I have to make sure I plant all of my pollinators. So I'm going to show you which pollinators I'm going to go with. So the number one is going to be sunflowers. So I'm planting this Mongolian giant sunflower. And then I'm going to add this mammoth gray striped sunflower. I do that because I feel that they are great pollinators. Hummingbirds absolutely love sunflowers, so those would definitely be on the list to plant. I'm also gonna plant this Ford Hook Farm heirloom fragrant flower mix, just to make it pretty, bring some beautiful color into the garden. Zinnias. Zinnias are a great choice as a pollinator. Butterflies love them. Bees love them. Hummingbirds love them. And we have near me the ruby-throated hummingbird. And guys, let me just tell you, that is the prettiest hummingbird I have ever seen. Um, the males have like the red throat, and then the back of them is like a pretty green. It's like a dark green, and they are so pretty. To see them in flight and actually sucking nectar is amazing. The next thing I'm going to do is one of my favorites, nasturtium. I love nasturtium because it's got that spicy flavor to it. It's a pollinator, but you can also eat the leaves. Then I'm going to plant this seed pack that I received as a gift. It says it is bird and butterfly friendly, attractive seed mix. So we're going to go with that. And you see the little birds in the picture. So that's good. I'm also going to plant some 4 o'clocks. The reason why I'm going with 4 o'clocks, guys, is because these open up basically later in the day, closer to the evening. And so you got your evening pollinators, like your moths. I forgot the type of moths. I'll put it in I'll throw it up there. But yeah, that moth is out in the evening, so that would be a great pollinator. I'm also going to use another seed pack I got as a gift, which is another pollinator mix. It's for butterflies, birds, and moths as well. So that's good. The next one I'm going to plant together. And I'm going to do this because I want to see the color, the beauty in the color. And that's morning glories. I'm going to plant this purple and pink variety. And then I'm going to plant this blue variety. So these will go together in one cell. So I'm going to get started planting. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is start filling these up with soil, because it's not really soil. It's a mix of cocoa coir, peat moss, and vermiculite. So I'm going to start filling those up, and then I can drop the seeds in there. And like I said, this is pre-moistened, so that's good. That's one thing you want to make sure when you are planting your seeds. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot let them dry out. If you let those seeds dry out, they may not germinate, and if they do germinate, it'll take a little bit longer. And of course, that's just my personal experience. That's what I have found. There have been times where I've planted seeds and I've wondered why they didn't germinate. And when I think back about it, I realize there were days where they were dry. And that is particularly important in the area in which I live. Living in zone 9A, where I'm at in my location, it is very hot and humid. It's nothing to have 100% humidity for several days straight. So it's so important to make sure that you give them the best opportunity possible. So that's why I like this combination. It works for me, and it may work for you. It may work for you. Find what works best for you. So like I said, I'm just gently filling these up, and you see how I've separated them. I didn't do this before. It's just something I came up with, the idea that I thought about, and I thought, you know what, that should work. Usually what I do is I keep it together. I don't separate it until after they have germinated and have their true leaves. But I decided to go forward differently this time because sometimes when I would try to break this apart from, well, let me show you. Sometimes when they're together like this and I go to break them apart, I, not intentionally, but oftentimes I've ruined the seedling. Maybe I'm too heavy-handed, I don't know, but I just came up with this idea and thought I would try that. So we're almost done. You see how neatly they fit into it? And I love this tray because what I'll do is I'll use my spray bottle to make sure that the seedlings are getting the moisture that they need. The spray bottle is also good for me personally, I found, because I'm not giving them too much water. I realized that in the past as well, one of the things that I've noticed is that some of my seedlings have rotted. And that is generally because too much water. Too much water. I'm too heavy-handed. So knowing that and going forward, I'm going to use a spray bottle. This way I'll be sure not to give them too much. Now, yes, I know what you're probably thinking. Yeah, you could spray too much, but it's less likely to spray too much than it is to have a water bottle and you're spraying and boom, you've got too much water in there. How do you get it out? All right, so here we go. We are done. Done with that. So these trays are set. Now, once I use the spray bottle to moisten them and they've got substantial size on them, then I will more than likely water from the bottom. And I will be putting the dome on top. So, unfortunately, while I was doing that, I wet this seed pack. It got wet. So, I'm going to just open this up. I'm so disappointed. Well, not much I can do about it, but as you can see, it's wet. See where it's lighter? Yeah, and then the seeds are all here. So I'm just going to open it up. I'm really disappointed about that. I didn't notice where I had placed it was wet. I'm just going to put them right in here. So disappointing. Okay. All right, and I'll just gently, see, makes it so much easier when this is moist. You can just manipulate this soil. I feel like I need to put a little bit more over this one. I can go ahead on and do that. Let's get the stick out of there. All right, now, the one mistake I often make is I often forget to label. So I've got to label them right now. All right, so move you guys around so you can see better. This is what I'm going to put. I already wrote on there, pollinator mix. I used the pen. Let me write it on both sides. The reason why is because I find that even though I use a permanent marker, supposedly a permanent marker, it doesn't always stay on there. I don't know why. And I thought, what do I write with? A pen, normally. And you could get a pen marker or something and cannot get it out. So I'm going to definitely see how it works going forward. Okay, so the next one I'm going to plant is going to be actually, I take that back. It's going to be the nasturtium. So I've got 5 cells, and these seeds are a good size. They're not very little. Some people soak theirs. I don't. I never have. I never had a problem with them germinating. So just boom, 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 boom. And I am only putting 1 seed in each cell. I'm not going to do more than that. Not for these. Not for the nasturtium. No. So see, that's all done. So I'm not going to bore you while I put the rest of these seeds in here. I'll bring you back when I'm finished. All right, guys, so I'm all done. I have everything labeled, and I'm about to spray them, but I want to bring you closer to show you something. All right, so you see, I've got everything labeled. So I wanted to show you, this is the seed of one of the varieties of sunflowers, and this is the seed of the other one. One is much larger. So I'm just gonna show you how I just gently push everything in and just cover it with a little bit of dirt. You know, sometimes the cells I feel may not have enough, and so I will just go ahead and sprinkle a little bit on top. Like this particular cell right here, it doesn't look like it had enough, so I'll just grab a little bit. And I love the way it feels. It's so soft. And I had to correct what I was thinking. In the pollinator mixes, which would be this one here, and the mixed flowers, these three. I didn't realize when they say mix, it's a mix of different type of seeds. I don't know why I didn't realize that. So there are a different variety of seeds in each of those packages. So I had to put more than one seed in there. So I will have more, hopefully if everything germinates, more than one coming up. So I'm definitely going to have to separate once that comes up. So now I have my spray bottle. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add this Super Thrive. I don't know if any of you have ever done it. Sounds like it's hard in there. But I'm going to add some of that I'm going to actually add all of it to the water bottle. It's supposed to help with the seeds. So I'm just going to put that in there. And I'm just going to spray. If the spray bottle would spray. Okay, let's see. Let me see what's going on with this spray bottle. Figured it out. This little part was so tight, so I didn't realize. So yeah, I'll spray everything down. Make sure everybody gets a little bit of this. Actually, now that I'm spraying it, guys, I'm actually kind of like almost regretting putting this stuff in there. I think because I don't know. I don't like the way it smells. It smells like it's ugh. I don't like the way it smells. It smells like the beach, to be honest with you. And I really am trying to grow things that don't have any chemicals, only natural, organic. So going forward with my other seed trays, I'm not going to put that in there. I don't like that. I just don't feel comfortable with it. If any of you have used it before, put it in your comments. Let me know what you thought. But I personally don't like the way it smells. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But, So, guys, you see what I'm saying? This is a lot easier to control than me pouring water jug over these. So here it is. This is my mix. This is what I'm going to start off with. And I'm going to also, I won't bore you with actually showing you me planting it in the cells, but these are some of the things that I am going to be planting as far as vegetables go. All right, so for these other cells that I have here, this one here, and then the one with the biodegradable pots, this is what I'm going to be planting in those. The first thing I'm super excited about is this. This is the gourd loofah. Well, it is loofah. Loofah is a gourd. I love this. I'm very excited about it. 2 reasons. You can eat it. A lot of people didn't know that. But some people, what they do is they eat it kind of like eggplant. And that would be in Ghana. I didn't realize that, but that was the information on the seed pack. So that was great information to know, because I knew that you could eat the loofah when it was young, but I didn't know like how they prepare it, how they cook it, things like that. So they do that in Ghana. But I'm going to be using it not only to eat, to try it out, see if I like it or not, but also because I want that sponge. So this takes about 100 days to 120 days to mature. So if I start now, once it germinates, I should have something within, let's see, 100 days. I should have something by end of May, June for sure. And the thing about this is that it needs a trellis, and I have a trellis. also to a big point with growing this particular loofah is that it loves heat. And like I said, here in 9A where I'm at, very hot and humid. The next thing is I want to plant this candy roaster squash. I've heard so many people talk about this. I love squash, so I'm going to be doing that. Sorrel. Someone sent me these and I'm going, oh, that was not the sorrel. This was the anise, pardon. Someone sent me this and I'm definitely going to plant this again. I actually have sorrel as well. Don't know where I put the package. I guess I dropped it. But I'm also going to be planting sorrel as well. And it came from the same person. Stevia. I love stevia. I tried to overwinter it, but it didn't work. But stevia is excellent for sweetening up your life. Whether you use it in drinks, whether you use it in your food, however you want to use it, stevia, that natural sweetener, is so good. I plan to continue growing it like I did last year, harvesting the leaves, drying them, and then putting it into a powder and using it as sugar. Next thing is another squash. This is a variety of Tokyo Blue. And I've never grown it before, and I love squash, as I said. And so I want to try that variety. The next thing I love is eggplant. And this is a variety I planted this the first time last year, and I really enjoyed it, but I didn't plant enough. And so I need to make sure that I plant enough. The next thing is the squash, the vegetable spaghetti squash. Got a little tongue-tied there. So here's the thing. I'm encouraging people to grow, people that are close to me, people that I know, people in my local area. And someone asked if I told them I would give them starts. So I'm going to be starting it, and then I'm going to be giving it to them. So I asked someone what they wanted, and this was one of the number one things they wanted, the spaghetti squash. So we're going forward with that one. The next thing is peppers. I make my own hot sauce. I make my own sauces from my peppers. So there we go. That's one variety. Here's another variety. And I have a few others that I will be planting. I'm going to go forth with these wax beans. I've never planted them before. I want to see what the difference in taste will be between a regular green bean and a wax bean. I think I will like it. But I want to grow it myself and see. The next thing is, being a pescatarian, I do eat a lot of beans. So I'll be growing these. These also are something that someone else asked me to do, black beans. So got to get that in. This is a pink banana squash, very much like the candy roaster as far as the size goes. They both, to me, look like they are large squashes. And so I think that would be great. I plan to trellis that as well, so they can just hang. Matter of fact, going forward this year, I will do a lot more trellising than I did last year. I really like trellising because when you have the arch and things hang, they seem to grow better to me. The next thing is, of course, I want to try this Bonnie's Best tomato. Usually I plant smaller tomatoes, but I want a larger tomato that I can kind of grill, and not too large, but just the right size for a nice sandwich. I love edamame, and I'm going to plant my own soybean so I can have my own edamame, and I can stop going to my local Asian restaurant to order it. This is the kale. This variety is the Nero di Toscana. I like that one. It's very light. It's also known to some people as dinosaur kale, but I like that. And that one you can plant twice a year. You can plant it for a crop in the fall and winter, and you can plant it for a early spring crop. This, oh my goodness, this is pink-eye purple hull peas. Kind of like black-eye peas, except they're pink. They grew so well. They trellised so nicely last year, and they are delicious. And I want to plant this black diamond watermelon. I've already selected the area for it. Hopefully, I know that the vines they say, or I've heard, that watermelon do better when you just let them do their thing. And I have in the past planted watermelon, but I've planted sugar babies. I've planted the Yamada cream. I've planted the Yamada silver. And I just kind of let the vines go wherever they wanted. And unfortunately, I don't have a ginormous amount of space to just let them run free, vine free. And I think that that hampered the growth of the watermelon. So this time I have a certain area that I'm going to just leave, and it will be contained within that area, and it can do what it wants. I figured if I plant this now, you figure 80 days from now will bring me to about April, mid-April. So hopefully I will have an early harvest of watermelon. The next variety is mullein, Violetta mullein. I do plant mullein now, but I don't plant this variety. And so I want to do that. And I also want to harvest those leaves so that or flowers, I should say, so that I can make a nice tea. The last thing I'm going to be able to plant is this atomic orange corn. I will be planting that as well. I just think it's pretty. You guys know orange is my favorite color. So I was attracted to those. So those are the, let me see if I left any on the table. Oh, I did leave one on the table. Like I said, I knew I had left it. This is the pack of sorrel. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to be planting in these planters. And hopefully, I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't germinate. I think I'll have good success. I have them here by the light, but I will set up my heating mat for them, and I will set up my lights for them, and we'll see how they do. Hopefully 2 weeks from now, everything, well, let's say 3 weeks, 21 days. 3 weeks from now, hopefully everything will have germination. So look for that video, because I will do a follow-up as to what germinated well, how it's going. So thank you for hanging out with me today, spending time with me outside in the garden, coming in and watching me do this. I really appreciate it. If you are a new follower, if you are a longtime follower, if you just bumped on this video and decided to check it out, I just want to say thank you. I love and appreciate you. I do. Listen, whatever you're doing, as I always say, you enjoy it. Go, Salo.